morning. You're watching the news on African Free Press Television, and we're broadcasting the news from the nation's capital, Abuja, where the weather is relatively dry. Hope you don't find yourself in some sort of trouble. My name is Leo Ketan. These are the stories we're tracking for you at this hour. The media aide to the late Prince Abubakar Audu has warned the APC not to set the state on fire, with Alhaji Yahaya Bello emerging as the party's replacement for Audu, saying his principal endorsed his running mate, Honorable James Falake of the All Progressive Congress, APC. The APC picked Alhaji Bello in a primary ordered by INEC. This is even as the Labour Party candidate Mr. Philip Salawu asked INEC to declare him winner because he didn't spend a dime during the election. Ohikere at a press conference yesterday in Lokoja equally accused President Muhammadu Buhari for allegedly injecting Northern agenda where all his governors in the 19 states must be Muslims. The late Prince Audu, who died last 2 weeks Sunday, was leading Governor Idris Wadara of the People's Democratic Party PDP by 41,000 votes in the November 21st election. But the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC declared the exercise inconclusive, thereby ordering a supplementary election to take place on December 5, 2015 in 19 polling units across 18 local governments. And meanwhile, it was celebration galore at the Central Senatorial District and parts of Lokoja over the weekend as Bello's kinsmen were jubilating over his nomination as the APC standard bearer by the National Working Committee. But in a swift reaction to Bello's alleged nomination, the head of media, Prince Abubakar Audu Falake Campaign Organization, Dr. Hikere, warned APC National Chairman Chief Odigi Oyegu to avoid any act capable of setting up the state on fire. And on another story, former military president Ibrahim Babangida has said that he's ready to vote for an Igbo president in 2019. Speaking with The Interview, a magazine focused on leading professionals and politicians, IBB, as he is fondly called, however, described agitation for Biafra Republic as a distraction which Nigeria doesn't need at the moment. And President Muhammadu Buhari believes violence, extremism and terrorism can only thrive and endure if good people remain idle and complacent. The Nigerian president shared this view with world leaders while speaking on behalf of other participating African heads of state and government at the closing executive session of the 2015 Commonwealth Summit in Malta on Sunday. President Buhari said that he was confident that terrorism would be ultimately defeated with greater international cooperation and collaboration. And meanwhile, Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Apex Igbo Socio-Cultural Organization, rose from its Email B meeting yesterday in Enugu and called on the federal government to release Nnamdi Kanu, detained director of Radio Biafra and leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. However, representatives of MASOB and IPOB boycotted the meeting. Spokesperson for MASOB and IPOB, Uche Mado and Emmanuel Powerful, respectively, were said to have decided not to meet with any group until Kanu is released. In a communique released by former Health Minister Professor ABC Nwosu, the Igbo body said his release will arrest current Biafra agitations and protests. Ohanaeze also urged governments to treat Kanu's matter as a political issue rather than a security matter, and condemned attempts to drag the situation and public expression of Ndigbo over their exclusion from the Nigerian nation into the realm of partisan politics. And the appeal court sitting in Makurdi on Saturday, the Benue State capital, nullified the election of Senator David Mark, and they have ordered for a fresh election to be conducted in the senatorial district within 90 days from the day of judgment. And on the foreign scene now, Pope Francis is due to visit a mosque in the capital of the Central African Republic in what is being seen as the most difficult part of his African tour. The Pope will meet Muslims who have sought shelter in Bangui after nearly 3 years of violence between Christians and Muslims. Most Muslims have left the capital, but 15,000 are left in an area called PK5, surrounded by armed Christian militia. Pope Francis will conclude his visit to Africa with a final mass in Bangui. And on Sunday, the Pope called on fighting factions in the Central African Republic to lay down their weapons. Celebrating mass in Bangui, he said they should instead arm themselves with justice, love, mercy, and authentic peace. Earlier, he said they hoped He hoped next month's election in the Central African Republic will open a new chapter for the country. The Central African Republic has been torn apart by violence between Muslim rebels and Christian militias. It is the Pontiff's first visit to a conflict zone and the final stop on his landmark three-nation African tour. A critical United Nations conference aimed at agreeing a new global approach to the climate change is set to open in Paris. Negotiations from 195 countries will try to reach a deal within 2 weeks. Leaders from 147 nations will address the meeting known as COP21 on Monday, but the world's poorest countries say they fear being left behind in the push for a new treaty. The French government will officially take over the running of the talks during today's opening ceremony. And quick noun in sports, coach Samson Siasa's Dream Team 6 survived a second half scare from the Junior Eagles of Mali to win 3-2 in her opening Group B encounter in Mbo last night. A very confident Nigerian side in the first half with a 3-0 advantage looked lost in the second half as the Malians ran rings around the Dream Team goal area, which resulted in Mali scoring 2 goals in the second half and threatened severally up to the stoppage time. Tunisia's based Junior Ajayi scored twice, while Usman Mohamed was also on target for the Dream Team 6. And that's the news coming from African Free Press Television this morning. For more stories, please do log on to our website at www.africanfreepress.com. Follow us on Twitter at African Free Press. Like our Facebook page at African Free Press. Join us in our discussions on various interesting topics on African Free Press Forum and subscribe to our YouTube channel at African Free Press. From me, Leo Kedan, the whole team in the studio, is a very good morning to you. Don't get yourself in trouble and stay alert for security reasons. Do enjoy the rest of your day.